The Indiana Fever did not just beat the Las Vegas Aces, they made history while doing it. That is what made this night feel different. Because this was not only a blowout, it was not only a statement win, it was not only another reminder that Indiana is becoming one of the most dangerous teams in the league. It was a record book game, and the wildest part of all, Caitlin Clark was still on a minutes restriction. Before tip-off, that was the biggest question hanging over the game. Could Clark play? How much could she give Indiana? And what would this team look like if its biggest star was capped at around 20 to 25 minutes against a team like Las Vegas? That tension never left the game, because every time Clark touched the ball, you knew the clock was working against her. This was not a normal full-load superstar performance. This was a controlled return. And yet she still found a way to make history. In the third quarter, Clark recorded her 600th career assist. That made her the fastest player in WNBA history to reach that mark. That matters for more than just trivia. Scoring records are obvious. Everybody sees points. But an assist record says something different. It tells you how quickly a player changes the game for everyone around her, how fast she creates offense, how naturally she bends defenses and turns attention into opportunities for teammates. That is what makes the number so impressive. Clark did not just get to 600, she got there faster than anybody the league has ever seen. And because she is playing limited minutes, the efficiency looks even crazier. That is another big part of this story. She is producing star-level impact without even being on the floor as long as most stars usually are. Less time, same pressure on the defense, same ability to change possessions. That is what makes her line feel heavier than it first looks. But while Clark was making history, she was not the only one. Kelsey Mitchell was building a massive night of her own. That is one reason this Indiana team feels so different right now. Clark draws the spotlight. Mitchell keeps punishing teams inside that spotlight. She kept climbing the franchise and league record books in this game, extending the kind of scoring consistency that only a handful of players ever reach. That is what makes her so valuable. She does not need the entire offense to revolve around her. She just keeps scoring, night after night, game after game. And when she gets into rhythm, Indiana stops looking like a one-star team and starts looking like a real problem. Then there was Sophie Cunningham. Her night may have been the most explosive of the entire game. Coming off the bench, she completely shifted the energy with her shooting. Not just hot, efficient, at a level that almost looks fake when you read it back. She turned open looks into daggers and stretched the game further every time Las Vegas tried to breathe. That is what made this performance so dangerous from Indiana's side. It was not one person doing everything. It was wave after wave, Clark creating, Mitchell scoring, Cunningham catching fire, Aaliyah Boston controlling the paint, other contributors stepping in and giving Indiana real depth. That is how big wins become historic wins, and that is why the team side of this matters just as much as the individual records. Multiple Fever players scored in double figures. The offense stayed balanced. The defense stayed connected. The team never lost control of the game. That is the detail that should worry the rest of the league. Indiana did all of this while still managing Clark carefully. So this was not even a full-throttle version of the Fever, and yet the record book still took a hit. That is what makes the Vegas side of the story so brutal, because buried inside all the Indiana milestones was a number Las Vegas will hate being attached to: the swing. Vegas had just delivered one of the most dominant wins you can imagine in one game. Then they turned around and got run off the floor by Indiana. That kind of point differential swing is the sort of stat that turns heads immediately. Not just because it is ugly, because it says the Aces went from looking unbeatable to looking completely out of answers in almost no time at all. And Indiana was the team that did it to them. That is why this game matters beyond one box score. It was not just Clark breaking another assist mark. It was not just Mitchell climbing higher in franchise history. It was not just Cunningham producing one of the best shooting nights the franchise has ever seen. It was all of it happening together. That is how you know a team is changing. Not when one player carries everything, but when the star returns on limited minutes and the whole machine still hums this loudly. That is what happened here. Indiana did not just get a big win. They showed that this team is getting deeper, cleaner, and more complete. And if this is what the Fever look like while still easing Clark back in, then the rest of the league has a much bigger problem coming than one ugly night in Las Vegas.